Hello Aries, so I'm doing your weekly tarot for June the 9th to the 16th. We don't have a working fountain today, I'm afraid, just in case anyone wonders why it's not switched on. The pump inside it has decided that it's had enough and it wants to retire, so it has gone for a very long retirement in the bin, and while I'm waiting for a replacement, we'll just have to make do with the way that it currently is. Okay, right, so Aries, the Three of Water for your situation this week, a celebration. Oddly enough, here's the deal with this one, right? It's a very joyful, positive card, Aries, but I feel that there is a part of you that potentially isn't feeling quite like you want to celebrate this week. Okay, I feel like there is something that is weighing heavy on your mind that is stopping you from enjoying life at the moment. Now, obviously, I'm not a psychic, okay, so I don't know the exact accurate details of what that is, you know, what's happened. I can only read the strongest overall energies, and it's really strange that I'm picking that up because the Three of Water, the Three of Cups, literally says a celebration, okay? It could be a wedding, a graduation, a birth announcement, and the need to have more fun, right? But I feel for your energy, Aries, that you're not really up to celebrating this week. Now, I'm going to dig a bit deeper and find out where that's coming from, okay? Of course, at the end, we'll get advice and guidance and all that good stuff, okay? Yeah, see? The Hermit, all right? The Hermit. Spending time in quiet meditation, spiritual teaching, and self-discovery. Okay, so the combination of that is like, yeah, I should be happy. Yeah, I should be joyful and optimistic. And, you know, yeah, most things, they are really, really good at the moment. And I should be celebrating that. I just don't feel like I'm up to it right now. I got this other thing that's going on, right? Now, Aries, if this isn't your energy and you know full well that it's not your energy, then that's fine. It's likely going to be someone else that you're dealing with, and this is going to be their energy while they're dealing with you, okay? So again, just take it as it resonates. This is asking of you, Aries, to try, if you can, to celebrate your little wins, your little victories along the way, okay? Spending time in quiet contemplation and quiet meditation, it's really going to give you the ability to see everything without all of the external noise and without everyone else's opinions. And, you know, other people, they might well have very well-meaning suggestions for you, but not particularly helpful for you at this time. So it's really, really important that you are able to hear your own internal voice, okay? Oh, right, so you've been carrying quite a lot, Aries, by yourself. Right, let's take a deeper dive into this. So why doesn't Aries feel much like celebrating right now? What's going on here for Aries? Okay, yeah. The Seven of Swords. And the Eight of Wands. Okay. Okay. Breathe deep, breathe deep. The Seven of Swords, that it's some sort of betrayal, okay? That's my danger card. It's literally a warning of deceit. Now, because of the context that this has come out in, Aries, this is no big secret to you, right? You don't feel much like celebrating because at the moment, you feel like something or someone in particular is very fake. And it's been devastating to find that out, basically. What's this Seven of Swords? I can't speak properly today, Aries. What's this Seven of Swords? What's going on with this deceit for why Aries doesn't feel much like celebrating? I kind of feel like someone else is celebrating, and the timing of it, it's almost as if you're finding it hard to celebrate someone else and their good news, even though under normal circumstances you would be the first in line to be the cheerleader for others. It feels that you've had like a lot of emotional stuff to deal with, where it's very difficult for you to be happy for other people right now. It's not because you're mean or you're nasty or you're jealous or anything like that, okay? Sometimes that is going to come out of the energies, you know, when a person is being spiteful and jealous, and that's why they're not wanting to celebrate other people's victories. But it's also obvious, Aries, that your problem here is quite the opposite to that, right? It feels like you're finding it hard to celebrate someone else's victories and successes because you might have... What they're celebrating is something that you have recently lost or lost out on, right? It's going to sound awful, but I mean, I don't know if I should use this as an example because it's an incredibly personal example. Very many years ago, I actually had a miscarriage, and at the same time there were like 3 other women that I was working with that fell pregnant at the exact same time as I went through my loss, right? So I know that that's an extreme example. It really is about as extreme as what you can get. So energetically, that's like the closest thing here that I can match up to what I'm feeling with this energy, right? When you're going through your own loss, your own devastation, it is so difficult, if not impossible, to feel happy for others who have succeeded in the area of which you have lost, right? I hope that that makes sense. And I'm so sorry for using such an extreme example. But it's there, okay? It is there, yeah. High Priestess off balance. Finding it harder and harder with every passing day to keep your real feelings either under control or a secret, right? It's fucking hard. That Eight of Wands, the Eight of Wands there, it still wants to speak, so I'm going to clarify that. Yeah, the Two of Pentacles. You try, it's like you're trying everything you can to keep on top of everything, right? There's also a message here about how you're trying to just keep things normal, even though that's incredibly difficult to do, right? Yeah, these are all off balance. Justice and the Star for the Eight of Wands. It's something that happened suddenly. It was quick, super quick. 1, 2, 3 major arcanas, all off balance, to clarify that Eight of Wands energy, which is super fast energy. Unfairness, right? The cause of depression here, hopes lost, dreams lost. I fully expect that the message of grieving is going to come out later on in the read. I fully expect that to be the case. How on earth can you be expected to be happy for others when you yourself are going through the grieving process? And then, on top of that, it's making you feel rotten. It's making you feel rotten, and it's making you feel like you're being fake as well. Because it feels like you're trying to force yourself to be happy for other people when you yourself are grieving. That makes you feel like you're being fake. It's a lot. It's a lot for one person to take on, Aries. It really, really is. And I think that that's why the Hermit is there. It's all about that quiet meditation. Listen, Aries, Spirit's not expecting for you to go out and, you know, make a big show and a song and a dance on everyone else's behalf, right? That's not what's being expected of you here. What Spirit is asking of you, though, is to see if you can create a little bit more joy in your life with that Three of Water, okay? It's such an awful predicament to be in. It really is. This is going to take time. Okay, Aries, it's going to take time. You're not going to feel better when you wake up tomorrow. You're not necessarily going to feel better next week, okay? This is going to take time for you to get your head around everything, for you to get to grips with everything. You will get there eventually, just in the meanwhile, you need to give yourself time. Okay. It feels like a forced journey of self-discovery. Right. Catalyst. What's the catalyst? The Four of Water. Missing an opportunity, discontentment or boredom, and opening your eyes to the possibilities. Yeah, you know, I'm feeling that there is hurt more than anything with this one. I know that traditionally that would be like the Three of Swords. Okay, I'm definitely getting a heavy vibe of the Three of Swords energy with this Four of Water, the Four of Cups. So the thing is as well, Aries, I don't want this read to be too dark or too depressing either, right? These readings, they're supposed to be helpful. They're not supposed to go over that painful old ground. Yet having said that, Aries, I kind of feel that you might need to. You might need to revisit that painful old ground. Because it might help you. There's something here with this Four of Cups, this Four of Water, that you haven't acknowledged, that you're needing to acknowledge. I don't feel that this is so much about missing an opportunity. I feel that this is a lot more to do with you had a goal. You had a goal in mind, you had hopes, you had aspirations. You were genuinely looking forward to something here. Like genuinely looking forward to something big, right? And then all of a sudden it feels like it's been snatched away. Outside of your control, through nothing that you did, right? Through you listen, with justice off balance, you did not deserve that. You did not do anything to cause it to happen. You did not do anything to call it in or to manifest it, okay? I genuinely feel like something horrifically unfair has taken place here. And there is something here that Spirit is wanting for you to acknowledge about that whole situation. Okay. What is it that Spirit is wanting Aries to acknowledge about this situation, please? The Seven of Wands. You're pushing everyone away, Aries. You're pushing everyone away. That's kind of like your way of protecting yourself, defending yourself, right? I'm understanding that certain other people around you are likely wanting to help you out, and it looks like you're pushing them away, and that's what you're needing to acknowledge. Okay, again, Aries, I'm completely on board with you for that one. Okay, I literally do the exact same thing myself, so I can really resonate with what you're doing and why you're doing it. Okay, but that's what you're needing to acknowledge here. It's the catalyst. It's catalytic energy. The catalyst is you've been pushing other people away. You're going to have your own reasons as to why that is. Okay. 5 of Cups. Yeah, it's making things worse. It genuinely is making things worse for you here, Aries, and that's the catalyst. Because now your situation is you're feeling completely alone. Completely alone. I feel that this betrayal is a combination of, yep, okay, maybe someone else has betrayed you here in some regard. Absolutely. I feel like it's a combination of that and the self-betrayal. It's a bit of both. Blind spot, the Knight of Water. Falling in love or a wedding proposal. The need to balance emotions. An invitation to a social event. In your blind spot, Aries, you might not be wanting this social invitation. And like right now, you just might not be feeling like you're up to it. And that's completely understandable. But please do remember what Spirit said about finding the joyful moments in life as and when you can. Okay, that is going to be so helpful to you. It's not about, you know, going out there and putting on a big performance and, you know, putting on a big show. Aries, no one is expecting you to put on a big show. Okay. This is asking for you to find things in life that will help you to fall in love with life all over again. Okay. Can you tell us more about this Knight of Water? Now, it's possible, depending on how this message is resonating for you, it's possible that you've got a romantic invitation that's coming in here. You're not looking at it. You're not expecting it. However, it is finding you. Okay, so in your blind spot, Aries, love in some capacity, either through another person or through you falling in love with life again. Love in some capacity, it is finding you. And it's in your blind spot. Yeah, High Priestess in the upright position this time. We've already seen the High Priestess in your reading. It was right there and it was off balance. Now it's coming out in the upright position. That's your higher senses. That's your highest self with the High Priestess. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman, okay? That is your energy. That is you feeling genuinely like you're more in control, like you're more connected. Okay, there is clearly a temporary disconnect here. And the key word is temporary. Something devastating has happened that has made you temporarily disconnect from yourself and from everyone else around you. Your blind spot's saying it's not going to be that way forever. Okay, you've got Strength, the Hangman, the Eight of Cups, and down here you've got the Tower and the Four of Swords. All in your blind spot. We're going to clarify this Tower in just a second, okay? Because it's coming out as you didn't play a part in whatever this devastating event was. I genuinely feel that deep inside you've been blaming yourself here for something. Because in your blind spot, your deep subconscious, your higher self is asking for you to reevaluate why you've been blaming yourself, or the ways in which you've been blaming yourself for whatever has played out here. Okay. Because it's time for you to, they say that that's searching for truth. I feel the combination here is actually acknowledging the truth, the real truth behind whatever this devastating event has been, the real truth behind that. Okay, because they're saying here for you to take the self-blame out of the equation. Okay. That takes a lot of inner strength, a lot of courage to see the events that played out from a different angle. There's something here that you're needing to let go of, and I'm certain that it's self-blame. I'm certain of it. Let's clarify. Was this Tower? You're terrified that the same thing's going to happen again. I don't need to clarify that. I can see it. Look, you can see it too. It's deep in your own psyche. You're terrified the same thing will happen again. That's why you've been disconnecting from everyone. That's why you've been disconnecting from everything that you love. That's why you've been keeping yourself in this, I don't know, it's like in this little bubble. You're terrified that the same thing's going to happen again, and you're refusing to speak out about it to anybody because you don't want that to be seen as a sign of weakness. You're Aries. You're not being weak at all. You're genuinely not. That is a normal, look, that's a normal response, a normal fear to have, given the situation that you have been dealing with, again, of which I do not know the full extent of, but I do know, because I can feel the abnormal, the abnormal energy that's coming off the event that you've been through. Most people don't have to go through shit like that, right? So your response is normal to an abnormal situation. Do you see what I'm saying? Okay, what's working out for you? The Nine of Air. Literally says, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies and sleepless nights. For what's working out for you, that's a bit of a strange message to get, is it not? After the message I've just given you here. Spirit, can you clarify this, please? Why is the Nine of Air for what is working for Aries? The Ten of Swords. You're looking for some sort of validation here, Aries. That's why it's what's working for you. Right? What Spirit's telling you is you're looking for the wrong type of validation. Okay? Nothing wrong with wanting to be validated. You're looking for the wrong type. of validation. You're looking for some sort of validation here of, see, I told you, if I expect the worst, right, because you're terrified that the same thing's going to happen again, if I expect the worst, then I'm in control of that, right? It's like expecting the worst has become your comfort zone, your current comfort zone. I feel like you've become accustomed to chaos, right? And so when things are quiet and calm, you might not feel like you're in control of that. Okay. Expecting the worst is not what's going to work out for you. Okay, because Spirit's clarified that there with the Ten of Swords. They're saying that's not what's going to work out for you at all. What is going to work out for you, Aries, is finding ways to end this current repetitive cycle that you might have found yourself in. Okay. What's going on? Yeah, the Hierophant. Spirituality, teaching, teachers, learning. Okay. It's promises and commitment. We've got the Knight of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. Maybe it's time for a little bit of adventure. Okay. Spirit's asking here for you to make new commitments, not to other people, but make new commitments to yourself. And the new commitment is going to be, how can I bring more fun and adventure into my life? Because ultimately, Aries, that is what makes you happy, is what keeps you happy, okay? Digging yourself out of this Five of Pentacles energy is really going to work for you, and the only way that you can do that is to embrace more of this adventurous side of your own personality, okay? This is also asking for you to rebel against this Five of Pentacles, to rebel against this lack energy, rebel against these feelings of loss, these feelings of worthlessness. Okay, it's time to rebel against that. And being a little rebel, Aries, that is literally your forte, right? That's literally your forte. So it's time for you to make new commitments towards yourself. How it's likely going to play out, the Two of Water, the Two of Cups. A relationship that continues to grow closer. Forgiveness and the positive resolution of a conflict. Okay. I always say self-forgiveness. That's the only form of forgiveness that you really need to focus on, is self-forgiveness. I genuinely feel, Aries, like you have come down on yourself here really fucking hard. And it sapped all of the joy out of your life. Completely understandable, okay? I'm not sitting here pointing fingers and, you know, thinking I'm higher than thou, right? Absolutely not. I do the same thing myself, right? That's how I can recognize this energy. The relationship that you have with yourself is going to improve massively. And therefore, the relationship that you have with Spirit, with the universe, whichever name you prefer to use, that's also going to improve. And then the relationships that you have with other people, that's also going to improve. But it all starts with self. Queen of Wands, off balance. Okay, there's a message here about your self-worth. That's going to take a hot minute to rebuild, but you will rebuild it. Yeah, Page of Cups. Ten of Cups is your strongest overall message, Aries. you do get your happy ending. You do get your happy ever after with the Ten of Cups. That's emotional fulfillment. It's completion. It's a healthy, happy family. Okay? That's your strongest overall energy. What's this? I was going to say, what's this Page of Cups? Death, off balance, and the Two of Swords. Yeah. Yeah, making that decision. Aries, listen. Self-forgiveness is coming to the forefront here. It genuinely is. What's that death off balance? Because that can indicate a refusal to change. The Eight of Swords, also off balance. A mental prison. See, I'm reading that... Yeah, Nine of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I'm reading that energy as basically... someone refuses to change, right? I'm not convinced that that's you. It could be, but for the most part, I'm not convinced that that's you. I'm certain that there is another person's involvement here with whatever has happened to you recently that has been devastating. And I'm seeing here that they are not likely going to change. So that you're needing to take that on board so that you no longer try and gain their approval or try and change their mind about something here, okay? There is definitely a bit of a no-win type situation here, okay? And it's going to remain as a no-win situation. So that's why Spirit is wanting for you, Aries, specifically, to take care of your own needs when it comes down to this, okay? Take care of your own needs. You're not going to be able to change someone else or someone else's mind or someone else's behavior or anything like that. You're not going to be able to convince them to do things differently here, okay? From what I can make out with this death energy and the Eight of Swords both off balance, that's someone who is determined on keeping themselves stuck, okay? So the trick here for you, Aries, is to make sure that you don't get stuck with them. Okay, remembering strongest overall energy here, the Ten of Cups, and look, you've even got the Ace of Cups and the World hidden underneath there. Okay? This is literally emotional stability. This is, I'm sorry, there's some kind of construction going on outside. This is unconditional love, right? That combination is all anybody wants out of life, right? And is your strongest overall energy, Aries. The situation that you're currently moving away from offers you no love. It offers you no stability. It offers you no security. You're moving out of all of that. And you're moving towards your Ten of Cups and your Ace of Cups. You're ending that cycle of either trauma or chaos. You're completely ending that cycle. Right, let's get you a healing message. Can I have a healing message for Aries, please? I do apologise for the noise coming from outside. It's a nice day today, so everyone's all out there with their lawnmowers and the strimmers and doing construction work and everything. They can't just go out and sit in the sun and just enjoy the peace and quiet, can they? Right, concealment. Let's take a look. Okay, so this one says, yeah, as I suspected, Aries, you have taught yourself how to be strong, how to be the go-getter, and how to protect yourself. You have conquered obstacles because you know where you stand, and hiding behind a mask, it can feel safe. When you conceal your true identity and don't let people fully know you, they can't hurt you. The glamorously painted face looks very appealing and provides a sense of shelter. However, if you keep avoiding connecting on a deeper level, it can leave you feeling vulnerable and alone. Commit to making choices that are better for your unique essence and purpose. Use this card when you want to unmask a certain aspect of your life, if you need to reveal your true feelings, or when you need to dig beneath the surface of a situation that has left you unsure of yourself. Imagine carrying the mask for a little while and then envision yourself removing it. At first, this might be frightening and it might make you feel exposed and vulnerable. But you will learn to stay stronger and forthright with practice. Try writing down on a piece of paper something positive that people don't know about you. And then your affirmation that comes with this card, Aries, is I am true to myself. Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what I can get from that, Aries, is you don't have to be strong all the time. You don't have to put on this face of strength all the time. And sometimes showing emotional vulnerability is a show of strength. Okay? It really is. But yeah, let's see if we can uplift this energy with some wonderful words of wisdom from the shitty deck. All for a little bit of fun, of course, at the end of your reading. Okay, so what else? Let me see. Okay, all the good ones are a little crazy and have been through some terrible shit that could have broken them. But instead of playing the victim, they have transmuted their shit into some incredible growth. Yeah. Aries, you are in the process of transmuting a horrific situation into some incredible growth, okay? People can talk shit, people can bitch, people can trip, people can shit on themselves. Don't care what happens to them because they might have deserved the shit that was coming to them. Yeah. So to hell with everyone else's opinions, Aries. And remember, it takes courage, pain and time to unlearn all of the shit that you've been taught. Okay? But yeah, that is what I have for you guys today. I genuinely hope that that reading has been helpful. For personal reads with me, my website is right there. It's on your screen right now, phoenixkeiatarot.com. Also, in my description box below, you're going to find information for our fantastic sponsors, Otter Spirit, and they make these gorgeous healing bracelets. They all have these cute little otter faces etched on every one because they donate a portion of every sale to the Wild Sea Otter charities. In California, I think they're based. So yeah, it's all going towards a fantastic cause as well. So definitely do check them out. There is a special discount code, which again is right on your screen right now, actually. There's the discount code, Phoenix Tarot 20 at Otter Spirit's checkout. And that is going to get you a nice discount off all of your Otter Spirit purchases. But yeah, thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.